Hi everybody. I'm Nick Schulze, and this is my hanging out, messing around, geeking out presentation for TCH 410. My presentation is on the Apple Watch activity tracker. Kind of weird for a music teacher to be talking about this, but the main reason I am talking about it is, well, I'll get into it a little bit later. But the Apple Watch activity tracker is a device that's worn on the arm that offers a wide variety of apps that converse with your iPhone to help with different daily activities. And for the purpose of this presentation, we're going to focus on the heart rate monitor, which goes on the bottom. I've got mine on right now, tracking my current heart rate is 87 beats per minute, 89. And it tracks it with these glowing green lights on the bottom. So the way that it works, the heart rate monitor uses those two green glowing LEDs along with a couple of photodiodes to measure the blood flow through your wrist. And it can measure when your heart is beating and when it's not based on how the pressure in your how it measures the pressure in your blood vessels as you're moving or talking or exercising. And some of the benefits of this are it fits easily on your wrist, so it's not in the way with other things that you're trying to do. The constraints are it can be inaccurate if it's not securely fastened to your wrist. You notice how high I have it put up on my wrist on this. It's so that it's actually very tightly against my wrist, so those lights are going into my skin and not getting ambient light from other things. A couple of other benefits not listed here would be it's easy to track one person's data and make sure that it's relatively accurate. Another constraint that just came to mind as mine was dead when I put it on was you have to plug them in, otherwise they won't work. All right, workout results. So the way that this works is using the workout app on the phone or on the watch can track your heart rate during an exercise period. It will monitor the length, distance, and heart rate during the workout. As you can see, I've got mine set up to just monitor a walk right now. The top number there is active calories burned. It says 16 total calories, 96 beats per minute is my heart rate, and it claims that I've walked 42 feet. And I just have it set as an open goal, so I guess it's not timing me at the moment, but it normally does time me on that. And then after you are done with the watch, it will transfer the results to your phone, which looks like this. This will show an open walk. This one is from long ago. This is when I actually had one of the kids trying it out for the geeking out part. I had one of my kids who had an Apple Watch, or I can't remember if this one was the one where I let a kid wear my Apple Watch during our marching band rehearsal and wear it for an hour and 20 minutes and showed the calories they burned during marching band and the calories total, time, heart rate. And this person was a very small sophomore boy who I don't believe had it on very well. So I'm curious about that heart rate. I'm not sure that that is 100% accurate. All right, the Apple Watch plus marching band seems like a weird combination, but there's a physical education waiver that the Illinois high school students who participate in marching band and different sports can be granted to meet the PE requirement for graduation as mandated by the Illinois State Board of Education. The end of this waiver is currently being discussed for extracurricular activities outside of sports like marching band. And this may cause some students to have to pick between music and other mandated classes, because if PE is a class that you have to take and you like music, well, if you have to graduate, music might get kicked to the side. All right, the plan is to use the Apple Watch activity tracker to track data on students as they practice marching band, compile the data of calories burned, and compare this data to other athletic activities. To track the data, we're going to look at 3 different categories. Use when it's just marching, just playing, and marching and playing. So for the purposes of this video, marching, I'm going to use a different workout where I was just walking. I have a trumpet here, and I'm going to play for you guys a little bit today so you can kind of, we can see what happens to the fluctuation in heart rate. And then I will also pause the video and march around my house for a couple minutes and play and see what that does to the heart rate as well. All right, part 2 is looking at students who are willing to take turns wearing these watches during rehearsal each day. The plan is to write a grant to try and get between 3 and 5 devices for students to wear, and to have the same student try and wear it for a week at a time and track their data via those different activities during each week. And at the end of each rehearsal, the student will return the watches to the teacher, where I can then sync them up with iPhone and collect the data. And then in order to track the different kinds of activities the students will be participating in, we might have like okay, we're doing marching. People who are doing the activity trackers, go ahead and start a new workout while we do this. And then, all right, we're going to end that workout. And we'll hopefully be collecting data every day during next year's marching band season. All right, part number 3. The data collected will be compiled over the whole marching band season, and at the end of the season, I'll go through and gather the data into the following categories: calories burned in comparison to marching, playing, and marching and playing, gender, and age, to kind of see if I can get a more generalized result from this and not so specific. So hopefully over the we do marching band from July, the last 2 weeks in July through like the last week in October. So that gives us a good 10 to 12 weeks of data to go off of. And if we can get 3 to 5 students each of those weeks to kind of really keep up with that, I think that we'll get a very good chunk of data to use. All right, here are some samples of what different activities have done. So the first 2 here, these are examples of actual, like I turned the Apple Watch on and it tracked my calories. These are 2 that I talked about when I was doing the Geeking Out, where the kids had their Apple Watch and kind of tracked it for me. And you can see that the time is relatively close because they were both doing the same thing. This one here, shoot, I can't remember which one is which now. It's been too long. But one of these people was a conductor, stand at the front of the band and conducted the whole time. And the other person was a clarinet player who marched around the field. I'm guessing that the clarinet player was probably the one that went more miles. And then further over here, this shows you some other things that it will do, like track your active move calories for the day, minutes of exercise, standing time. And the cool thing about this is you can share with different people what your calorie goals are. And then this is a workout that I did on a bike, just to kind of show what another thing that it can do and how that could work. All right, so let's get to playing here. So right now, I'll check my heart rate again. It looks like I'm at 96 beats per minute. 96 beats per minute. And that is just me sitting in a chair talking. So we'll say that this biking exercise, 130 beats per minute, is like my marching for right now, because I'm not going to go march around the house to test this out on live video. But I am going to play a little bit. So I'm going to start playing. I'm going to pause while I'm starting playing so that you can see that I am playing, but you don't have to listen to me the whole time. And it is currently 4:56. Don't know if you can see that on there. Let's see if I can highlight that over here. All right, it's currently 4:56. I'm going to play for 10 minutes. I'm going to just play almost nonstop, progressing from easy warm-up stuff to more difficult stuff. I'll unpause every once in a while to bring you guys into what I'm working on, and we'll go from there. All right, here goes. I'll be back. Okay, that's 4 minutes later. Heart rate has gone up about 20 beats per minute just from playing. 25 beats per minute just from playing. Gonna keep going a little bit longer. All right, well, it looks like something kind of went wrong there. Boop. Ended up at 74. Can't be true. Don't know what happened. Anyway, you saw we made it up to like 125, so definitely getting some exercise doing that. I'm going to try and play a little bit and march around, see what happens. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. It is 5:06, so that was about 5 minutes of playing, 5 minutes of walking around and playing. I'm going to go ahead and end this workout. Oops, I paused it. And I'm going to send it over to my iPhone. So Russ says that burned off 77 active calories in that 10 minutes, 115 total calories. My average heart rate was 106 beats per minute. So from my resting heart rate, that was up. When I started, I was at like 70 something. Started talking a little bit. It went up a little bit from there. And then from there, let's see if I can get workouts. All right. I'll send this over to the computer. Hold on just a second. And we're back. All right. I know that was just a couple seconds for you guys. Sorry about the jumpiness that's going to happen in here. So this shows 77 active calories, 115 total calories. Time of tracking, that's from the beginning of the presentation to when I stopped playing, 18 minutes. Average heart rate, you can kind of see from 74 to 148, hanging out 70, 80 range. As I started talking more, it went up to closer to the 80s. This is where I started playing, and I think that it kind of slipped off my wrist a little bit here. That's one of the constraints I was talking about. And then as I started marching around, you can see that it peaked up at like 148. And that was, so this is resting, playing, marching, and playing. So you can see it as a fairly strenuous activity, even if most people don't think so. So I kind of hope that that helps you guys see why I think that this is something that's interesting to do. And I am really interested to see what the outcome of all of the data collection and research shows. If it is something that I can get, maybe be like a pilot for and get other people interested in doing something like this, because just timing activities I don't feel like is a overall good way to justify what is actually going on, because when you're just talking about marching around on a football field, it doesn't sound like it would burn as many calories as you do. But when you're also expelling a large majority of your air into an instrument to make sound, it makes it a lot different. So that's what the plan is. We'll see how it goes. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a good day.